Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. We're back today with issue 41, the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. Okay, so what's in issue 41? The final recovery. Many ships sent to the site of the disaster to help recover the victims. Obviously there was a horrific death toll. Again, there we go, there's capsized boats being pulled out the water. Depiction of the clergyman aboard the Mackay Bennett saying prayers for the deceased, those lost at sea. Body counts and the end of the search, which is when they kind of gave up. Then there is the Titanic gravesite dedicated to those lost at sea, whether recovered or not, I think. And then we're on to more about the blockbuster movie from 1997. And yeah, there's the submersible that was used in the movie as well. And then we're on to the instructions. So, let's have a look at what we get in this issue. Okay, so for the first time in a while, we don't actually need anything that we worked on previously. We are moving on to what we're going to be working on for the foreseeable future, really, which is the front half of the boat deck. So, in the box, we have two very, very small LEDs, and I believe they are to illuminate the port and starboard navigation lights. We have a piece of decking, which will obviously need to be glued down. And we have a brown envelope. I don't like brown envelopes, they normally mean bad news. But in that brown envelope is a fairly weighty piece of plastic, and it is the front section, as I mentioned, of the boat deck. Now obviously that's the bottom, which is these troughs, and that's the top, which is all the detail holes. And this piece of decking will fit, unless I'm wrong, and that's the bottom and that's the top. Oh no, I'm wrong. That's the top, so that piece of decking fits on there. But that's not what we're doing first. So I'll get that back off, and we'll have a look at the instructions. Okay, so here we have the deck section, very, very bright white. And here we have the two LEDs. Now, one is marked M and the other is marked L. Now, for some reason, the one that is marked L, no, okay, sorry. The one that is marked L goes on the port side, which is the left, and the one that is marked M goes on the starboard, which is the right. I don't know why they wouldn't just put R or S, but L. They haven't done. So what we need to do is taking the LED light. Now I'm trying to see what way they want me to put it in. So the circuit board faces down for some reason. So starting with the port one, which I say is marked L, goes in here, face down, so the light will shine downwards, which I think is really silly. But hey ho, not my decision. It sits, oh in fact I see, right, okay. So you're not pushing it all the way down into the plastic, it'll sit like that and it'll create a wee light box there. And now what we're doing is guiding the wires along this trough, and they need to fit under these clips. So this could be a little bit fidgety, because if this isn't stuck down properly, then the deck won't sit properly either. So what it's recommending that you do is to use a wooden cocktail stick. Now I'm not going to. What I'm going to use is my usual glue applicator. So I'll show you in just a second. You know, if you've watched for long enough, this is what I use to apply my glue. So they're wanting you to make sure the wires go underneath. See the plastic clips there? The wires need to go underneath them. So obviously if you're trying to run them along, their natural reaction isn't to go under them. The natural reaction is to want to sit above them. So what I'm doing is guiding them into the trough. Yeah, that might be the best plan actually. Yeah, because they're not wanting to go in there. I'll fiddle about with this and I'll come back to you when I'm done. Give me 2 moments. Okay, so that is the port one in, and I am not exaggerating when I say that is the least fun thing I've had to do on this build so far. My advice is separate the wires all the way along, because if you try and put them in both together, you're going to have a hell of a time. So now I need to do the other side. So as before, just line the little hole up with the LED facing downwards, push it down like that, and as I say, I'll turn this around. The best, as I say, the way I found to do it is to root it into the hole, then bend it up and push each wire, individual wire down into the gap like that, because that to me is the only way they're going in. They will not go in if you try and put them in together. Whoever designed this particular bit and then decided that the best way to hold all of this in is with a bit of sticky back wood, because basically all you're doing with this is putting the decking in on top of it. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing here, but I'm pushing the wire into the gap and then training it up and round the other side. Then once it's all the way in, you push it under the clips, just like that. See? And then as I say, all you're doing over the top of that to try and hold all these wires down and into place, the only thing you've got to do that is the glue on the deck. Now I'm sorry, but I'm really not confident in that glue. So I've now got another tiny little piece to do here. So again, as I say, I'll try and do it to show you with both pieces still together. All you can really do is try and train the wire around the clip. Actually, I've just ranted and I've done that there first time. So again, just push it down so it goes under the clip actually. Okay. Oh well, if only I'd thought to do it on camera, I'd have done it fine. So there we go. Pull that through like that, making sure it stays in the trough all the way along, and those are the navigation light boxes all done. Now again, what you do need to do, and mine isn't sitting quite flush there, so I'll need to make sure I pull that a little bit tighter. I think it's twisted in, that's the problem. Yeah, there we go, that's better. Because if that's not sitting flush into those troughs, it's going to push your wooden decking piece up, and you definitely don't want that. Now, the next thing it's telling you to do, I can't do, because unfortunately I don't have any batteries. So it's telling you to test the LEDs before you go gluing anything down. So I'll go and grab a couple of AA's, or AAA's, sorry, and we'll come back and we will test these lights just to make sure they work. Okay, so 2 batteries later, I'll try this one first. This is the one I had all the grief with. So if either one of them's not going to work, it's going to be this one, 100%. Nope, it works. It's not very bright, but it works. And the same, test the other side. You don't even need to plug it in all the way. You just need to make sure it makes contact. And there we go. You can see that light works as well. Just about. See, that light works too. Very dim. But I think it's designed to be, because bear in mind these are 1912 lamps we're trying to emulate here. So, okay, just guide these back into the little troughs. And my recommendation is to take the batteries back out the tester because it drains them constantly. As you can see when I was plugging that in, that switch doesn't really do anything, so there's constant power going through the battery bulbs, which isn't helpful in the slightest. Now what we're doing is we're going to be fitting the deck piece, which goes over here just like that. And the big issue here is going to be that these wires, because of the way they're connected to the PCB, they don't sit quite flush at the thing. So what I'm doing is using the end of my tweezers to push them down into the trough, because if they don't sit directly in that trough, as I say, you're going to have problems getting the decking to sit properly. So now I'm going to get a few of my little clamps out that were bought specifically for going down Titanic's deck pieces. So, and I did have a brush that was specifically used for painting glue, however it fell on the floor and the puppy chewed it, so it is no more. So as I say, I'll just need to look and see how far down this goes, make sure all the holes are lined up. They are, that's good. I know a few people have had problems with the holes not being in the right place. So, perfect, delighted with that. So, just some plain PVA glue I've had sitting chilling while I've been doing everything else. The reason for that being that by this stage it'll started to go a little bit tacky. Now don't worry about the fact that you're painting essentially over the top of the wiring, because it's not going to damage it in any way. It's not as if it's a really, really strong, nasty super glue. It is just basically children's PVA glue. I don't think I used quite enough here. So this bit isn't the biggest bit of decking in the world, but it's always worth making sure everything is going to be properly stuck down, because I say this is the bridge section, so it's one of the more iconic parts of the ship. You're not wanting it looking utter garbage. So again, as with all the other decking sections, peel the backing off it and hope none of it splits or snaps. And I find the best way to line it up is with the bit at the back here. Again, make sure all the holes line up nicely and press it down just like that. Now that to me looks really nice, and as I say, that will be the bridge section, so yeah, very iconic area. So get the clamps out and clamp it all down. I may get some more clamps just to make sure it's all going to sit properly. There we go. That is that all put in. Let's see, I'll get another clamp to just put in the middle there. Get out the drawer. But yes, as I say, nice one to get me back into. It's been, as you'll know, a little while since I've done anything on this. I do have 8 issues now, sitting, waiting to be done. But that is everything for issue 41. Yeah, nice big chunk of deck. As I say, the other sections that we've already done will go over here, and we'll discuss what's coming next in just a moment. Okay, so that is us for issue 41. What's coming in issue 42? Oh, the bridge, the whole front bridge section, all the details for it, all the wheelhouse details, the steering wheels, the helmet, everything all comes in issue 42. So yeah, really looking forward to that. As I say, I have that here. I have all the way up to issue 48 just sitting over there waiting to be done, and issue up to issue 52 should be here shortly as well. So yeah, that's all we really did in this issue, but you can see the size of that. By the time we're up to issue 48, we have extended this all the way out, so it's going to be massive. It's going to be a fair old sized deck by the time we're done with what I have here. But thank you very much for watching. Say any comments, complaints, criticisms, drop them in the box below. Always leave a like if you can, and consider subscribing to see the rest of this build, because I will be following it through to completion. I don't know what, if anything else, I'll be doing after that, but yeah, thank you very much for watching. Catch you all soon, and as always, peace out.